What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. I'm just gonna basically just say straight from my heart how I feel about this situation and everything. It's been a very rough last 2 weeks for our family down here. Obviously, I've not posted anything, and I'm not apologizing on this video for not posting. I was more of I don't know, just an explanation of what's been happening, why I have not posted anything, and we've had some terrible things happen to the family, and I'm sorry if there's some noise in the background. We're having some thunderstorms roll through, so it might rain on the video. You might hear thunder in the background. But I'll start. It's been the last 2 weeks. Things had started. The first thing I guess I can start with is Dad's had cancer, as y'all know. He's had it in several parts of his body. It's come and it's go. It's been under control. We went up to MD Anderson a few weeks back and went up there, and they said he was clear. Well, I don't know, maybe a week or so, 2 weeks later, something like that, get back, and Dad starts getting pain in his collarbone, and he knows the feeling of the cancer in his body, and he said he thinks it might be cancer there. And I was trying to be positive about it and just say maybe it's just us working around the yard. We had been cutting down trees at the time, and I know that he was out holding up some of the branches and stuff. I said, maybe you just tweak something there, and he said no. He has the same kind of pain in his hips as well, the paddles of his hip, and he went on, I don't even know the days. My days and stuff are so confused. Went to Corpus, got a full body scan done, and it's back. It was cancer in his collarbone and his hips. It's just been one thing after another, roller coaster of emotions. Getting the good information from MD Anderson makes you feel great, and then whenever you hear that it's back, it just gets that knot back in your stomach again. Like, we just can't catch a break around here, and it's starting to pick up on rain. So that's always hard to hear that. You don't want to see your parent hurting at all by any means. And luckily for our family, we try to do whatever we can to make him comfortable. Matt makes some oils and stuff that he rubs like on his shoulders and his back, all that kind of stuff. And it seems to help him out, not hurting as much here and there, but it's still, the cancer's in the bones, and it's just it just hurts him real bad, and I don't want to see him hurting. And we just try to take things as easy as we can around here, even though we've been trying to work on a fence as well. On the around the pond, we have goats. They've been getting out since we have an electric fence, so we went and picked up some pipes and stuff in Robstown. Started putting that together. We got it all buried in, and I don't know, just trying to still live life. We can't let it just stop us from doing anything, but that's been going on with Dad, and it's going to continue going on with him. Keep your prayers for him. It's been very stressful for the whole family, and yeah, so keep prayers for him. Like I said, it's been a lot of stuff going on. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Trying to think, last week, as y'all know, Matt, my older brother, if you're new to the channel, my older brother, he has a dog named Riley. He's an older dog. He had been sick a lot recently, and we think he may have had a stroke at some point, and he ended up passing away too. So that's just another thing. I know it's a dog. Some people are like, whatever, but he's a part of the family, and we've had him since he was 2 years old, and he is roughly 15, 16 years old. Of course, Matt's been heartbroken over that. Just one thing after another. And then after that happened, like I said, it's stressful. I feel like I've aged a lot in the last month. Mom and I got real sick. I was sick for, I don't know, about 4 or 5 days, just sick to my stomach. I couldn't eat anything. Mom was the same way. Anytime I tried to eat, I was forcing myself to eat, it instantly came up, and I was throwing up for like 2 or 3 days, like, I don't know, 10, 12 times a day, and then it was going out the other end as well. I know it sounds nasty and stuff, but it's the truth. I couldn't hold it in anything, and I think in almost 3 days I ate 2 slices of cheese and a slice of ham, and couldn't even keep that down. And it made me real weak, not feeling good. I'm gonna move over a little bit because the rain is starting to come sideways, so bear with me 1 second. And felt real weak. Same thing with Mom. She was had the same symptoms, so I don't need to repeat, obviously. She's had stomach issues and stuff, and it was just hurting her, and I felt like we were kind of getting over it. I had stopped throwing up a lot, and it just started going straight to just, I'll be honest, pooping a lot, diarrhea. And I finally got over that, and the main part of the story, I'm not going to cry. I'm going to try not to cry. But the scariest night of my life. All right, I'm not going to be a little crybaby, I promise. I'm gonna hold it in. I cried too much already. But I always keep my volume up at night because I never know if somebody's going to call and need me or anything, and I really hope the audio's not bad with the rain and stuff. But I had laid down at my place. It was probably 10:30 or so, like normal. Laid in bed. I had my phone. What are the odds? But I usually listen to rain music at night to help me sleep better. And I had the volume all the way up, and I was just tossing and turning, couldn't sleep. And at 11:34, my phone rings. Nobody calls me in the middle of the night, and my first thought was, why is somebody calling me? So I roll over and look, and it's Dad. My heart sank. Dad should not be calling in the middle of the night. So I instantly answer the phone, and I could hear the pain in his voice. Come quick, Mom's having a heart attack. I flipped shit. I flipped shit. Like I said, it's the middle of the night. It was dark. I didn't even turn any lights on or anything. I jumped out of bed. That night I had taken my prosthetic off in the living room, and I can hop. So I hopped to my bed that night. I got that phone call, and I couldn't even hang up. My hands were shaking. I was all like freaking out, and I just kept saying, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I hopped to the living room, threw my leg on. I think I put my liner on backwards, and I couldn't even tell. I was in my boxers. That's how I sleep. I had thrown my Crocs on, and that's all I had on, and I bolted to Mom and Dad's in the middle of the night. No lights or anything, just running as fast as I could, which is not fast because I can't run fast. And when you hear your mom's having a heart attack, you're going to think the very worst. And I busted in the door in the back, and all the lights were on. The front door was wide open. The porch light was on. Dad had already called 911. And by the time I got from my place to Mom and Dad's, which is a 2-minute walk just around the corner, the sheriff's department was already parked out front. They must have been somewhere here in town already, but I ran into Mom and Dad's room, and what I saw scared the ever-loving shit out of me. And something I don't wish on anybody. I see Dad like trying to shake Mom. Mom is laying in bed, stiff as a board, eyes rolled back in her head. She had foam all over her mouth and looked dead. It was terrible. I had never seen anything like that before. I flipped shit. I'd never seen that before. Dad is a retired police officer. He's dealt with that stuff before. He's dealt with death before. And it was the look of death in her eyes. And I had never seen that in person before. She, to To start out, Dad said that it was before he called me, he said in the middle of the night, he woke up to a gut-wrenching yell, scream. He said it sounded like a dying animal, and he thought Mom was having a heart attack, or not a heart attack, was having a nightmare. So he says, Melanie, he reaches over, she's stiff as a board. He reaches up to her face and could just feel all the foam all over her face. Ran, turned on the lights, and my gosh, Dad saved her life. Flipped her over, make sure she didn't choke on her vomit or anything else. And like I said, by the time I got there, it feels like a dream. It's like a nightmare. I was flipping out. I ran up to her. I was kissing on her arm, and I said, "You can't do this. You can't leave us." It traumatized me. Nobody should ever have to see that. And like I said, it was no longer, like I said, I was flipping out. Of course, Dad said, get out of here, like, because he didn't want me to cause any other kind of issues because I was flipping out. And I tried running out the front door, and as I was going out the front door, the paramedics were in the living room with the sheriff's department. I said, she's in the back, go get her. And I ran over to Matt's place and was just yelling like, Matt, get up. I said, Mom's dying, get up. He didn't answer, so I jumped the fence. I was banging on his door, and he said, what? Like, he was passed out. Like I said, it's the middle of the night. His phone was on vibrate, so he didn't hear any calls. I said, Mom's dying. I said, we got to go. So we both ran to the house, and at that time, they had already, I believe at that time, they had already had Mom, they were in Mom's room with the stretcher and stuff, and I knew we were getting ready to go to the hospital, and I hadn't seen Mom move at all at that point. The last thing I saw was her just stiff as a board with her eyes in the back of her head, and there was nothing I could do at that moment except run back to my place, grab some clothes, grab my truck. I don't even remember any of that, going back to my place and doing that. I just remember getting in my truck, spinning out in my driveway, and just hauling ass back to Mom and Dad's. There was another sheriff parked at the stop sign up here. I probably almost sideswiped and come around that corner, went into Mom and Dad's yard, parked sideways in their driveway, and by that time, she was already inside the ambulance and was conscious, but was very confused. She didn't know what the hell was going on. She does have some memory issues here and there, but she was fighting with him. She just didn't know what was going on. All she knows is she woke up in the middle of the night, and now she's in the back of an ambulance, and Dad was trying to say, Melanie, calm down. And Dad turned and said, just get her stuff, grab her stuff, and we're gonna go. So Dad jumped in the ambulance with her, and they took off. Matt and I took separate vehicles. We knew we were gonna have to go back and forth doing stuff, and Matt grabbed clothes, her ID, all that kind of stuff, and we hauled ass to the emergency room in Kingsville, and at Christus Spawn Memorial Hospital. Went to the emergency room, got there just before midnight, and they took her off. We didn't know what they were gonna do, anything. They took Dad off to the back with them, and told Matt and I to go wait in a room, and we waited, and the doctor came in at that time and said that the window to give her certain types of medicine, because we thought it could have been maybe a seizure or something at the time. Everything was unknown, and I'm probably getting some of the story wrong, but like I said, it still feels like a dream. But anyways, we were at the hospital, and the doctor came in and said that they already have a care flight helicopter ready to go. They were ready to fly her to Corpus, and I just said, oh my God, my heart just sank. I was like, she already has all this going on. She doesn't need to have stress being in a helicopter. And it was a little bit later they came back in and said, no, we don't have to take her to Corpus now, that she's going to stay here in Kingsville. And it was a relief at that point when we're not out of the woods. And we stayed in the emergency room. They were monitoring her, and we were in the emergency room from 12 o'clock or midnight till right around 4 in the morning, just Dad was holding her hand and we were just talking with her, and it was weird. She went from that stage to where she came back to it and realized what was going on. We told her, you're in the emergency room, this is what happened. And she started kind of like getting back to herself. It was weird. I kept calling Jason, because if you're new to the channel, my twin brother lives in Oklahoma, and mind you, it's the middle of the night. I kept calling him all the way up here. I was just calling nonstop all the way to Kingsville. I left voicemails. I said, Mom's on the way to the emergency room. She either had a heart attack or something, we don't know what. I told him everything that was happening, and called about 20 times. And eventually he ended up answering it. I guess it woke him up, and I told him, and we ended up video chatting so he could video chat with Mom. And at that time that they were video chatting, Mom seemed like she was doing okay. She was able to communicate. She was smiling at that point. And after we hung up and everything, I told Jason, I said, don't let that fool you. I said, you might not want to listen to your voicemails I left you, because I was telling him everything that I saw. And I said, right now she's stable and seems okay. They had a room available at about 4 a.m. So we were taking her to the room at that point, and which blew my mind that Kingsville, that their hospital was that full. They said it was during spring break, so everything was busier, and got the room. We stayed there for a little bit longer. I think Matt and I left just after 4 o'clock. Dad stayed the night. Dad said there's no way in hell anybody's prying him out of that room. He stayed the night there. The next morning, like I said, I got home about 4:30. I couldn't sleep. Who the hell's going to sleep at that time? I may have dozed off maybe 30 minutes, and then woke up and went back to Mom and Dad's. I went in there and stripped her bed down because there was, I don't need to get into the details. I cleaned their bed up for them, remade the bed and everything, and then Dad texted me and asked me to bring some stuff up to the hospital and relieve him so he can come back and shower and all that. And I don't know, it's been a long time since I've seen Dad cry. I can't even tell you the last time I've seen him cry, to be honest. But it was a nightmare. It was the worst night of my life. My life personally. I know people have way worse things going on in their lives, but when you see your mom on the verge of dying, it fucks your head up. Last night I had nightmares. The night before I had nightmares. I can't get that image out of my head when at night. Same thing with Dad. He was saying the same thing. Like he said he's seen a lot of death. He was a police officer for 22 years, and he dealt with a lot of that stuff and has seen things like that. And like I said, he rolled her over, and so she wouldn't choke on herself, and he saved her life. Obviously, God has the final word if he wants her or not. It wasn't her time, but God was there to let Dad know to get up, take charge at that point, get 911 on the phone, and get her to the hospital. And long story short, she had all the tests done and everything, and it came back. They don't know what caused it, and they don't know exactly what happened. From everything that happened, we all think that it was some type of seizure, and that they wanted to run tests. They did brain test, they did nerve test, they did heart test. She said her heart was had a little bit of a, I don't know, it was hurting her a little bit. It was like a 2 out of a 10 scale, so it's just a small sensation, and they didn't want to rule anything out. And I'll be 100% honest, I didn't have the highest faith in Christus Spawn Memorial in Kingsville. I really shouldn't have even had that thought about them. I just had an assumption, and they exceeded every expectation I could say. They treated her like a queen. They treated our family like we were royalty. And I know it's not just our family they did that to. They do that to everybody. The nurses, the doctors, everybody was over the top nice, in and out of the room. You couldn't get them out of the room, basically. They're always in there helping out and doing everything. But long story short, Mom is okay. It was the scariest night of my life. I don't wish that on my worst enemy, and I hope that there's no side effects, long-term side effects, and we're going to change a lot of things around here, our diets and everything. We're going to change everything, and since we don't know exactly what caused it, but I thank God that he spared her life. It was very, very, very close, borderline. If Dad wouldn't have waken up, Mom would not be here. So that's why I say Dad saved her life, but in the end, God said it wasn't her time. And sorry for the background noise, but I know hearing me talk about God and stuff, I know I'm not the best person to be talking about all that stuff. I curse a lot and all that, but I have a good heart, I have good intentions, and I prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed, and he answered it. We got our mom back. Like I said, there's no side effects. It's weird. It's like she's back to normal. They do want somebody with her pretty much all the time to keep an eye on her. That's what they were saying. And then we were saying, luckily, Dad's retired. We all live close by, and I can work from home. So anyways, pray for Mom, guys. She's still not 100% out of the woods. She is discharged and stuff, but we don't know what caused it. And like I said, we're going to try to just take precautions on everything. And when you're on the brink of losing a family member like that, it changes everything. It's just terrible. And I can't believe this is 21 minutes already. I thought it was going to be a 5-minute video and that's it, but I'm just speaking from the heart. And like I said, it could have been anything, but Mom is okay now, and I thank God that she is. And like I said, I hadn't seen Dad. Like I said, I don't even remember the last time he's cried, and it was very tough. And he said that she can't leave him. He needs her. He's got cancer. And I told Mom on the way, we went to Kingsville this morning to go get medicine. It was just her and I said, I'm so glad that you're still here. And I said, I really do think, like, when couples have been married for so long, they've been married 47 years. They just had their anniversary recently, and I said, I'm so glad that you didn't pass on. I said, I had a feeling that if you would have, Dad might have been right there behind you. The cancer might have done something to him, and I don't know what we would have done. But I'm only telling you guys this because you guys love our family. Y'all been following along for 5 years now, something like that. And the majority of you guys care and have a good heart. Some of y'all are just pieces of shit and don't care. That's very little, those people. And those people mean nothing to me. But I wanted to share this with you guys. Please give y'all's prayers to Dad. Continue prayers on his cancer. Prayers for Matt to help him out with the loss of Riley. And then also for Mom as well. Make sure that just give her y'all's good words and well wishes, and it's thunder and stuff out here. But I'm gonna end it. This is too long of a video. I apologize, but I haven't been in the mood to put any videos out here recently. When you see your parents, they're getting older. When you see them hurting and stuff like this, it messes with you. So anyways, that's what's been happening. Part of it is it's sad tears, scared tears, and also happy tears that she is alive and okay. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys. So once again, I appreciate you guys for watching. Please give us y'all's prayers. It's supposed to be raining real bad the next few days, so we probably won't be able to get any work done outside, but we have started doing fencing. That is our priority right now. Over the house. I know people want to watch the house build. I get it, and right now you don't live here. You don't have to deal with certain things. We've been having issues with goats getting out. We've been needing to get this fence done, and we finally had the material to do it, and that's what we're going to be working on first. Get the fence done, then we'll come back and start working on the house. And then yeah, just try to make sure our family's good and we're around to help each other out and try to stay in good health. So anyways, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace.